Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Sunday. We've got 14 matchups on this MLB slate today, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. Go ahead, turn on those notification bells, and yeah, we'll hop in it. Wasn't able to do post yesterday, so hopefully you guys were able to get some nice wins here, and we'll hop in it. Busy slate as we close out the weekend here, starting with the Texas Rangers versus the Washington Nationals. Rangers opening up as road favorites at -210. Washington +175 with the over-under at 10. Pitching for the Rangers is Dane Dunning with an ERA of 2.61. Pitching for the Nationals is Patrick Corbin with an ERA of 5.22. Dunning, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, had 4 strikeouts. Corbin, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, had 2 strikeouts. The Rangers losing to Washington yesterday 8-3. Big win for Washington, snapping their 5-game losing streak that they were on. I really like the Rangers to bounce back today. Dunning 8-1 on the mound. Been great so far this season. And Patrick Corbin, been very bad for Washington. I mean, he gives up a lot of runs here. So I think it's a good spot for the Rangers to bounce back. And I'll take Rangers on the road. Next matchup, we got the Chicago Cubs versus the New York Yankees. Yankees opening up as home favorites at -135. The Cubs +115 with the over-under at 8.5. Cubs coming into this matchup 41-47. The Yankees 49-41. Pitching for the Cubs is Kyle Hendricks with an ERA of 2.83. Pitching for the Yankees is Domingo Yerman with an ERA of 4.52. Hendricks, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 1 run, had 5 strikeouts. Yerman, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 5 strikeouts. The Cubs coming off a Yankees loss yesterday. Both teams splitting a win so far in this series. Cubs 1-8 against the Yankees, 1-9 on the road against the Yankees, where they have struggled here. Both pitchers pitching very well. I'd say it's a pretty even pitching matchup, and I like the Yankees at home here. Cubs really just have struggled so far against the Yankees here, so I think I'm going to roll with New York at home. Next matchup, we got the Oakland Athletics versus the Boston Red Sox. Boston opening up as home favorites at -175. Oakland +145 with the over-under at 9.5. Oakland coming into this matchup 25-66. The Red Sox 47-43. Pitching for Oakland is J.P. Sears with an ERA of 4.09. Pitching for Boston is Taylor Scott with an ERA of 7.71. Sears, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Scott, his last start, he pitched 0 innings. Or actually, Scott has not pitched at all this season, so he's making his debut here. Hasn't pitched from what I'm seeing since 2019, so we'll see how well he does. Oakland on a 3-game losing streak, back-to-back losses against Boston. Boston playing well right now on a 4-game winning streak. Oakland is just 1-8 against Boston here, and even with Taylor Scott on them making his debut, I still like the way Boston's played this series, and I'm still going to take the Red Sox at home. Next matchup, we got the Kansas City Royals versus the Cleveland Guardians. Cleveland opening up as home favorites at -240. Kansas City +195 with the over-under at 8.5. Royals coming into this matchup 25-65. The Guardians 45-44. Pitching for the Royals is Ryan Yarbrough with an ERA of 6.15. Pitching for the Guardians is Shane Bieber with an ERA of 3.66. Yarbrough, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run, had 2 strikeouts. Bieber, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 4 strikeouts. The Royals, on a 6-game losing streak, 3 straight losses against Cleveland here. Cleveland's looked very good in this series so far. The Royals are just 0-5 on the road against Cleveland here. And yeah, I like the way Cleveland's looked in this series so far. And I'm going to roll with Cleveland at home. Next matchup, we've got the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Detroit Tigers. Toronto opening up as road favorites at -130. Detroit +110 with the over-under at 8.5. Toronto coming into this matchup 49-41. Detroit 39-49. Pitching for the Blue Jays is Chris Bassett with an ERA of 4.09. Pitching for Detroit is Tariq Skubal with an ERA of 0. Bassett, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, had 5 strikeouts. Skubal, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 6 strikeouts, looked very good in his debut this season. Toronto losing to Detroit yesterday 2-0. Yeah, tough loss for Toronto. Just could not get nothing going. It's crazy. Detroit had all 3 pitchers combined for like a no-hitter, which was pretty insane coming from Detroit here. I really don't think that happens again today. I like Toronto to bounce back, and I'm going to take Toronto on the road. Next matchup, we got the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Miami Marlins. Miami opening up as home favorites at -120. The Phillies +100 with the over-under at 7.5. Phillies coming into this matchup 48-40. The Marlins 52-39. Pitching for the Phillies is Aaron Nola with an ERA of 4.30. Pitching for the Marlins is Jesus Luzardo with an ERA of 3.32. Nola, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, had 12 strikeouts. Luzardo, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 8 strikeouts. He's coming off 3 straight 0-run games. He's been very good on the mound here. The Phillies losing to the Marlins yesterday 5-3. Yeah, I like Luzardo on the mound. I mean, he's been excellent. And yeah, I think I'm going to roll with Miami at home in this one. Next matchup, we got the Atlanta Braves versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays opening up as home favorites at -120. Atlanta +100 with the over-under at 8.5. Braves coming into this matchup 60-28. The Rays 57-35. Pitching for the Braves is Bryce Elder with an ERA of 2.45. Pitching for the Rays is Zach Eflin with an ERA of 3.24. Elder, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 1 strikeout. Eflin, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 9 strikeouts. Atlanta, 9-1 in their last 10, coming off back-to-back wins against the Rays here. Tampa Bay, they are on a 7-game losing streak right now. Been a tough stretch for the Rays here. Braves playing well, playing good in this series. Pretty even pitching matchup, and yeah, I think I'm going to take the Braves +1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we've got the Seattle Mariners versus the Houston Astros. Seattle opening up as road favorites at -130. Houston +110 with the over-under at 8. Seattle coming into this matchup 44-44. Houston 50-40. Pitching for Seattle is Logan Gilbert with an ERA of 3.82. Pitching for the Astros is Brandon Bilak with an ERA of 3.81. Gilbert, his last start, he pitched 9 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 7 strikeouts. Bilak, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 0 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Seattle, coming off a Houston loss yesterday. A nice win after losing those 2 prior games. Pretty even pitching matchup. Both pitchers coming off 0-run games here. And I like Houston here. Looked good yesterday. I think they're a good underdog. And I'll take Houston plus 1.5 at home. Next matchup, we got the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Chicago White Sox. White Sox opening up as home favorites at minus 125. The Cardinals plus 115 with the over-under at 9. Cardinals coming into this matchup 37-52. The White Sox 38-53. Pitching for the Cardinals is Steven Matz with an ERA of 5.02. Pitching for the White Sox is Lucas Giolito with an ERA of 3.50. Matz, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 6 runs, had 2 strikeouts. Giolito, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 4 strikeouts. St. Louis beating the White Sox yesterday 3-0. A nice shutout win from the Cardinals. You know, they have struggled against the White Sox here. We're looking at a pretty even pitching matchup. Matz hasn't been the greatest on the mound, but I still think Cardinals are a decent underdog today, and I'll take Cardinals plus 1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the Cincinnati Reds versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers opening up as home favorites at minus 130. The Reds plus 110 with the over-under at 9.5. Reds coming into this matchup 50-40. The Brewers 48-42. Pitching for the Reds is Ben Lively with an ERA of 4.11. Pitching for the Brewers is Wade Miley with an ERA of 3.36. Lively, his last start, he pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Miley, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, and had 4 strikeouts. The Reds beating the Brewers yesterday 8-5. They're still playing great right now. 15-2 on the road. I mean, they've been really dominant on the road here. Pretty even pitching matchup. And yeah, I'm going to take Reds plus 1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the Baltimore Orioles versus the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota opening up as home favorites at minus 150. Baltimore plus 125 with the over-under at 8.5. Baltimore coming into this matchup 53-35. The Twins 45-45. Pitching for the Orioles is Kyle Gibson with an ERA of 4.73. Pitching for the Twins is Joe Ryan with an ERA of 3.42. Gibson, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 4 strikeouts. Ryan, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 9 strikeouts. Baltimore on a 4-game winning streak, back-to-back wins against the Twins. Playing well on the road, and I'd say a pretty even pitching matchup. Gibson's had some bad starts on the mound here, and I still think Orioles are a good underdog today, and I'll take Baltimore plus 1.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the Colorado Rockies versus the San Francisco Giants. Giants opening up as home favorites at minus 270. Colorado plus 220 with the over-under at 8. Rockies coming into this matchup 34-36. I'm sorry, 34-56. Giants 48-41. Pitching for the Rockies is Kyle Freeland with an ERA of 4.93. Pitching for the Giants is Logan Webb with an ERA of 3.62. Freeland, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 3 strikeouts. Webb, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, had 11 strikeouts. Colorado coming off a Giants loss. Giants coming off a nice win yesterday. I mean, both teams really are struggling here, but Rockies are 1-12 against the Giants, so they really do struggle head to head here. And yeah, I think I'm going to roll with the Giants at home. Next matchup, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Arizona opening up as home favorites at minus 160. The Pirates plus 130 with the over-under at 9.5. Pirates coming into this matchup 40-49. Arizona 52-38. Pitching for the Pirates is Carmen Mlodzinski with an ERA of 2.61. Pitching for Arizona is Zach Davies with an ERA of 6.52. Davies, his last start, he pitched 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 6 strikeouts. Can't find any pitching info on Mlodzinski. The Pirates on a 4-game losing streak, back-to-back losses against Arizona. Arizona's looked pretty good so far in this series. Hit 1-9 on the road against Arizona, where they have struggled here. And yeah, I think I'm going to roll with Arizona at home. Then the last matchup, we got the New York Mets versus the San Diego Padres. Padres opening up as home favorites at -125. The Mets +100 with the over-under at 8. Mets coming into this matchup 42-47. Padres also 42-47. Pitching for the Mets is Max Scherzer with an ERA of 4.03. Pitching for the Padres is Joe Musgrove with an ERA of 3.56. Scherzer, his last start, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, had 9 strikeouts. Musgrove, his last start, he pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, had 11 strikeouts. Mets losing to the Padres yesterday 3-1, snapping their little 6-game winning streak that they were on. Pretty even pitching matchup here, and I still think the Mets are a good underdog. They're still playing well despite the loss yesterday, but with Scherzer on the mound, I think I'll take Mets +1.5 on the road. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Sunday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Monday. Have a good one.